That number. Over $100,000. Not spent on the house, on interest, because of a 3-digit number. And here is the part that should make you furious. For 1 in 5 Americans, that number is low because of an error they never made. If you have been searching for how to improve your credit score fast, I need to show you something before we touch a single strategy. According to a landmark Federal Trade Commission study, 1 in 5 Americans carries at least one material error on their credit report, an error significant enough to lower their score, an error that was never their fault. 1 in 5. That is 40 million Americans being penalized for something they never did. This video is going to give you 6 moves to improve your credit score. But move 1 is the one you have to do today, because if you have an error on your report, every other move you make is fighting with one hand behind your back. Stay through move 4. It is the one most people have never heard of, and it can raise your score without spending a single dollar or paying off a single debt. Let me make the stakes real before we go into the moves. Your credit score is not just a number your bank checks when you apply for a loan. It is a price tag attached to almost every major financial transaction in your life. Here is what the same person pays at different scores on the same $300,000 home purchase. At a 760 to 850 FICO score, you qualify for the best available mortgage rate. Monthly payment, approximately $1,450. Total interest over 30 years, around $222,000. At a 620 to 639 FICO score, your rate increases significantly. Monthly payment jumps to approximately $1,738. Total interest over 30 years, around $325,000. The difference between a good and a poor credit score on a single mortgage is approximately $103,000. That is not a rounding error. That is a retirement account, a child's education, a decade of financial security.
And your car insurance, your rent approval, your phone plan, all of them check your credit score. A low score costs you money every single month in ways that never show up as a single line item. Quick stop. If you have never actually checked your credit score, you need to do that before this video ends. I'm going to give you the exact free tool at move 1. Subscribe now so you never miss a video like this. I release one every single week. But first, I need to show you the hidden enemy that is silently working against your score right now. Here is the system that is supposed to determine your financial future. 3 private companies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, collect data about your borrowing history from thousands of lenders, banks, and debt collectors. They compile that data into your credit report. Errors enter the system constantly. A payment marked late when it was made on time. A closed account still showing as open. A debt that belongs to someone else with a similar name attached to your file. CFPB complaints about credit reporting have surged from 30% of all cases in 2017 to over 80% by 2025, the highest proportion of any consumer complaint category. The system is under more strain than at any point in modern history. And in 2026 specifically, consumer protections around credit reporting enforcement have weakened. You cannot rely on the system to find and fix its own errors. You have to do it yourself. This is why move 1 is not optional. Let's go through all 6 moves right now. 6 moves, in order of impact. Let's run through all of them. Move 4 is the one that raises your score without paying down any debt and without opening any new accounts. It takes 1 phone call. We're getting there in 3 minutes. Before the moves, you need to understand exactly how your score is calculated, because most people focus on the wrong factors and wonder why their score barely moves. Your FICO score has 5 components. Each one has a different weight, and most people are putting their energy into the lowest weight category.
Payment history, 35%, the single biggest factor. One missed payment can drop a score of 750 by 60 to 100 points overnight. Credit utilization, 30%. How much of your available credit you are using. This is the fastest moving number in your score. It can change within 30 days. Length of credit history, 15%. how long your accounts have been open. This one takes time. You cannot rush it. Credit mix, 10%, having different types of credit, cards, loans, mortgages. New credit inquiries, 10%, hard inquiries from loan applications, small and temporary. 65% of your score comes from just two factors, payment history and credit utilization. If you're only focused on paying down debt, you are working on 35% of the problem and ignoring 30%. Move 3 and Move 4 target that 30% directly, and they are the fastest ways to move the needle in 30 days or less. And before we get to the moves, I have to tell you the single most common mistake people make when trying to improve their credit score, because it is everywhere and it is actively making things worse for the people who do it. Closing old credit cards. It feels logical. You paid off the card, you do not need it, close it and move on. But closing a credit card does two damaging things simultaneously. It reduces your total available credit, which increases your utilization ratio, and it can shorten your average account age, which reduces your length of credit history score. Leave old cards open, even if you never use them. A card with a zero balance and no annual fee sitting unused in your wallet is silently building your score every month it stays open. Now, 6 moves. Let's go.
The first move is not a strategy. It is reconnaissance. You cannot fix errors you do not know exist. Go to annualcreditreport.com. That is the only federally mandated free credit report site. Pull all 3 reports, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They are free. You can now access them weekly. When you have them, look specifically for these. Any late payment you did not actually miss. Any account you do not recognize. Any paid collection still showing as unpaid. Any debt listed twice. And any balance that seems higher than it should be. If you find an error, file a dispute directly with the bureau that shows it. You do so in writing. Explain the error, attach any documentation you have. By law, the Bureau has 30 days to investigate and respond. In 2026, Experian's consumer resolution rate dropped to under 1% following regulatory changes, meaning you must escalate systematically, not just once. If the first dispute is rejected without a proper investigation, escalate to the CFPB and your state attorney general's office. Do not give up after one attempt. Move 1 is the only move that can improve your score without any financial action on your part, purely by removing what should not be there. Payment history is 35% of your score. One missed payment on an otherwise clean file can drop you 60 to 100 points. This is both the most important factor and the most fixable. The solution is to remove human error entirely. Set up automatic minimum payments for every account you have. Not manual payments, automatic. The minimum payment prevents a missed payment mark even in months when life gets in the way. Then, manually pay extra on top whenever your budget allows. But the automatic minimum is your insurance policy against the worst possible damage. One missed payment stays on your report for 7 years. The cost of a single automation oversight is a 7-year penalty. Set it up today.
Dropping from dramatic 75% to under 30% utilization can raise a score by 20 to 50 points within 1 to 2 billing cycles. This is the fastest, purely financial move you can make. Move 4 in 30 seconds. This is the one most people have never heard of. This is the move nobody tells you. Call your credit card company. Ask to speak with the retention or account services department. Tell them you have been a loyal customer, you pay on time, and you would like to discuss a credit limit increase. Here is why this works for your score. If your limit goes from $5,000 to $8,000 and your balance stays the same at $2,000, your utilization just dropped from 40% to 25%. Instantly, you spent nothing, you paid nothing, your score improves. Surveys consistently show that 65 to 70% of people who ask for a credit limit increase receive one. The average increase is 15 to 25% of the current limit. The call takes 5 to 10 minutes. Most people never make it. One critical note: ask for a soft inquiry credit limit increase, not a hard inquiry. Specify this when you call. A hard inquiry will temporarily lower your score by 5 to 10 points, which defeats the purpose. Most card issuers can process a soft inquiry increase for existing customers. Move 4 costs $0. It takes one phone call. It works 65% of the time. There is no reason not to do it. Move 5 is specifically for people with thin credit files, not enough credit history to generate a strong score, or for anyone whose oldest account is relatively new. Find a family member or close friend with a long, clean credit history and a low utilization card. Ask them to add you as an authorized user on that card. You do not need to use the card or even receive the physical card. Simply being listed as an authorized user means that account's positive history can appear on your credit report.
This move can add years of positive credit history to your file almost instantly, and it costs both parties nothing. The primary cardholder keeps full control and can remove you at any time. For thin file borrowers, this is the single fastest way to build a credit history that would otherwise take years to establish organically. Move 6 is for anyone starting from zero, no credit history, or a history so damaged that the other moves have limited impact. A secured credit card requires you to make a cash deposit that becomes your credit limit. You spend on it like a regular card, you pay it off monthly, the card issuer reports your payment history to the credit bureaus. After 12 to 24 months of consistent on-time payments and low utilization, most secured card issuers will upgrade you to an unsecured card and return your deposit. By that point, you will have 12 to 24 months of perfect payment history building your score from the ground up. Capital One Secured and Discover It Secured are consistently rated among the best options. Both report to all 3 major bureaus, both have pathways to unsecured cards. Links in the description. Starting from zero, a secured card used responsibly for 12 months can build a credit score from no score to the 650 to 700 range. From a 580, the same discipline applied to all 6 moves can realistically reach 720 to 750 within 12 months. Let me give you a realistic expectation of what these 6 moves produce on a timeline, because one of the most damaging things in credit score content is false promises. Month 1, pull all 3 reports, dispute any errors, set up auto pay on every account, make the credit limit increase call. These are your day 1 actions. Months 1 to 3, dispute resolution begins. Utilization drops as you focus payments on high balance cards. Score begins moving, typically 20 to 40 points if errors are removed, 15 to 30 points from utilization improvement.
Months 3 to 6. Payment history is accumulating clean. If you added an authorized user account, it is now appearing. Score range typically 640 to 690 from a starting point of 580. Months 6 to 12. Compounding effect of consistent payment history. Utilization consistently low. Score range typically 700 to 750, with the most important moves executed properly. The score does not move linearly. It moves in jumps each time an error is removed, each time a statement closes at low utilization. Stay consistent. The jumps come. Here is your action plan today. Go to annualcreditreports.com and pull all 3 of your credit reports right now before this video ends. Look for errors. If you find one, start the dispute process today, not this week. Set up auto pay on every account. Then call your credit card company and ask for a soft inquiry credit limit increase. These 2 actions combined can move your score within 30 to 60 days. If you want to know how to improve your credit score fast, these 6 moves, in order, are the evidence-based path. Subscribe now for a new financial strategy every single week. If you are watching this within the first 7 days, hit the hype button below the video. It is one tap and it helps this channel reach more people who need this information. The next video is going to show you exactly how to calculate your retirement number, the specific dollar figure you need to never work for money again. That video changes how you think about your entire financial plan. It is linked right here. Drop a comment. What is your current credit score range, and which of these 6 moves are you starting with? I read every single one. See you in the next video. Every week, One financial truth most people never find. Subscribe so you never miss one.